This section deals with Objective 4, which looks at the deontological theories of ethics, which is Kant, and the extension of Kant, which is W.D. Ross. This is the third of our non-consequentialist theories. We don't consider the consequences of what we're doing, what the outcome is. It's based on the first group, on virtue, which is duty of care and virtue ethics, or ethics of care and virtue ethics, and the second group, which is Kant and W.D. Ross, which are based on duty. So all deontology means is the Greek word for duty. It states that we are morally obligated. We have a duty to act in accordance with a set of principles and rules regardless of the outcome. 4 areas that Kant is based on: goodwill, categorical imperative, we must behave in a particular way based on duty; universally acceptability, there are a group of duties that regardless of culture, regardless of nationality, regardless of situation, hold up across all those things. It's a universally acceptable set of duties to others. And that we should focus on humanity, that people aren't a means to an end. Being humane to other people is in fact the end itself. The extension of Kant is Ross's 7 prima facie duties. Ross's 7 prima facie duties are the duty of fidelity, being faithful to a person, girlfriend, boyfriend, marriage, family; being faithful to a cause, a belief system, a goal, and demonstrate your faithfulness, your fidelity to those through continuing loyalty and support of those causes, regardless of the consequences, because consequences aren't considered in these theories. It's only about duty. Second duty is of reparation, the act of making amends when you've done something wrong to the person that you've done something wrong. Now, you're probably starting to see a little bit of the 12-step program that pervades television and drug rehabilitation and other things. Reparation means making amends, fixing up things that you've done badly to somebody else, fixing the wrong ones, because you have a duty and obligation to do that. Now, whether that's the duty and obligation for you to do that to someone you personally wronged, or whether it's the duty and obligation to do something to support someone that society has wronged, if it's in line with your core duties. So supporting equity, even supporting a positive discrimination to repair long-term inequitable behaviour, can in fact fit within duty of reparation, within Ross's 7 prima facie duties. The duty of gratitude, the quality of being thankful for what you've received and the readiness to show appreciation for and to return kindness in gratitude. The duty of justice, that there should be just behaviour and treatment. People should be treated fairly. There should be justice, whether it's societal justice, whether it's organisational justice, whether it's individual justice within your relationship with somebody else. The duty of beneficence. That's an action that is done for the benefit of another. So you should do things that are beneficial to another because it's the right thing to do. It's the duty for you to do it. Even if there are consequences, we don't consider any consequences. The duty of self-improvement. So to improve your knowledge, your status, your character by one's own efforts. And the duty not to injure others. Do not cause harm. Now, one of the things I mentioned a moment ago about the 12-step program, when we look at Ross's 7 prima facie duties, We can also see a parallel with religious teachings of various of the major religions. So in fact, Ross's 7 prima facie duties, and in fact Kant, is a set of moral principles that are not linked to religion, but do in fact mirror some of the teachings in the major religions. So they're saying here's this set of ethical and moral behaviour, and this is how we should behave. Here's the critiques of Kant's ethics. What is the moral worth? What is the moral worth of an individual? What is the moral worth of society? What is moral worth? What has moral worth? What has society? What are these universal values that exist? Can we in fact identify universal values that always exist? Second criticism is the categorical imperative to follow a particular duty an adequate test on what is right or wrong? So the argument for that is, well, you may be doing what you have a duty to do, but is that causing harm? Is that breaking any of the other duties? Does it in fact have consequences that are not the intended consequences, or they may be the intended consequences, of following some universal principle, some universal duties? And what does it mean to treat people as a means? And what does it mean to be humane and not treat people as a means? Is coercion bad? Well, we'd probably all think that coercing someone to do something is bad. Is influencing someone to do something with integrity bad? You're still using them to achieve your goals. In an organisation, you're trying to influence people to behave in a particular way, to do particular things. The ultimate outcome doesn't benefit them individually, or may not benefit them individually, or may not give them the same level of benefit that you get from getting them to do something. So are you using them as a means, or are you being humane because you've given them a job so they can support their families? Again, consequences aren't considered in Kant's theories of ethics. And we end up with all these grey areas. And in fact, all ethical theories have grey areas. That's why we're going to be talking about ethical decisions as we go through the course. All right, I'm going to take a break now. I know this is only a short segment, and I want you to watch the more detailed explanation video of Kant's ethics that I've posted on to Moodle.